The trade period poker game is over and now teams have to show their hands. Let's find out who's holding all the aces. Hello and welcome to Fox Sports Lab NBA. I'm Ben Dixon, your host, and as always, Jaymz Clements, my NBA expert, joining me. Welcome, James.
Thank you, Dicko. I'm like Mac McClung. I'm short, I'm white, I'm feisty. Let's go.
Up and about he is. Coming up, though, we will talk trades and title shots, and we'll analyse the big games of the weekend. James, let's see if we can make some sense of the wild, wild Western Conference. Just when we were about to write off the Lakers, they said, hold my beer, and we're going to plunge into this trade with a massive frenzy. Did they get the spending spree right?
I think compared to what they had, Dicko, they did.
Ooh.
The tricky part is the West is so wide open and it's so tough. Did they make the right moves? Maybe not. They've got D'Angelo Russell. They've got Jared Vanderbilt, they pick up Malik Beasley, and they also go and get Big Mo Bamba. In a vacuum, it just makes them a lot deeper, makes them a bit tougher. But the problem is, it's not a vacuum, is it? It's the Western Conference. It's a bit tougher to get through this than you'd think, because it's all going to be so matchup dependent as we get towards the playoffs. We've only got, the last third of the season. So this Lakers team, they got deeper, they got better. I'm not entirely convinced it's enough, but I did like the moves, because what they had stunk.
Yeah, and you did say just off the top that the Western Conference is wide open, but can the Lakers chase down the likes of the Nuggets, the Suns, the Grizzlies and the Mavs?
Probably those first three in terms of actual teams. No, not a chance. Maybe the Mavs, but they are only 3.5 games out of fourth at the moment, Dicko. So there is a chance that they could probably make a bit of a run. The thing is, they're still 5 games under 500. This is the thing. When you're going to make up that amount of room just to get to 500, just to get to 50%, I've won 50% of my games. They haven't even done that yet. They might be deeper, they might be better. It's going to be a tough ask to go all the way. But seriously, 5 games under 500, you're in 13th Lakers. Seriously, I think we should, not talk about them until they hit 500 and then they're an actual chance.
All right, well, let's talk top 4. So who finished in the top 4 in the West? And I want your bolter.
Oh, I love this. This is great. The thing is, the West is just such a mishmash of teams and sort of matchups. But the thing is, it's also dominated pretty heavily at the top. We've got someone like Denver, who are absolutely dominating on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. They're basically the best team in the West because they're a top 5 offense, a top 8 defense. They're sitting there, and that's been what they've been since the start of this year, and they don't look like they're slowing down. They're getting healthier, they're getting better, they're getting deeper, and I love that. They've got a great point differential, and that's one of those things when we talk about a top 4 coming out of the West, point differential and what we're looking at in terms of units, offense and defense. Denver have both. They've got a great point differential. Number 2, you got to go Phoenix. They've traded for Kevin Durant. He's awesome. We understand that. He's probably coming back later in this week after. Doesn't matter. They get him back. They've got 20 games to basically acclimatise to having KD there next to Chris Paul, next to DeAndre Ayton, and next to Devin Booker. Just having Devin Booker and KD might be enough to shoot you right to the top of the Western Conference. When you got a floor general like Chris Paul, you got to love that. And DeAndre Ayton, the big defensive presence, the big Bahamian. I love him up the back there. I scared some Bahamians when he got drafted. It was pretty fun. Memphis is my 3rd team, though. I love this Grizzlies team, you know that, but they have been very bad of late, Dicko. I believe they're 6-9 in their last 15 games. Their entire season got derailed by trying to start a fight with a talking head, Shannon Sharpe, former NFL legend. He wanted to fight the entire team, and now their season's gone into the bin. What's happened? The big thing is they lost Steven Adams, the big Kiwi. Once he comes back, they should solidify that base, get the rebounding back on track, and make that sort of top 4 push. I love them. The other one, Golden State. You can't write off Golden State. 29 and 29, that West is really tight, really sort of close together. Only 2.5 games out of 4th, though. That's incredible, right? 2.5 games out of 4th. They're all the way down the bottom of the standings. 2.5 games out of the 4. Love this. They get Steph Curry back. They'll go on a run. I was tempted to say the Clippers there, but I want to see what Russell Westbrook looks like next to Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. But you wanted a smoky.
I want a smoky. I mean,
Golden State, Dallas. You could flip a coin at this point. I think Dallas, that offense is going to be absolutely incredible with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving next to him. The defense, go find a rubbish bin, light it on fire. That's what that defense is going to look like, I'll tell you that. But Dallas, if they can get on a run and that offense, they can blow the doors off of anybody. The problem is, on the other end, they get their own doors blown off. So it's a bit of a tricky one, but that's why they're a bolter. They can absolutely light up a team and also get lit on fire.
Speaking of run, we're on the doorstep of the playoffs and you've just elevated your game to a new level. You're up and about today, but that's our look at a fascinating Western Conference. Next up, we'll head east.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.
It's a completely different story in the East, where the trade period was a snooze fest and the top four looks entrenched. James, at least Boston brought in the Moose, Mike Muscala. Do you think that's a great addition?
I mean, it's a pretty handy addition because it just adds another sort of, arrow to that bow for Boston. They can just make him a little bit matchup dependent. He can shoot the hell out of the ball, I'll tell you that much, Dicko. Just basically gives them another sort of option for playing a shooting big. And he is like an absolute deadeye. So look, they love playing 5 out. It's a good pickup, I guess, but it's not exactly the sort of needle mover that we saw in the West.
Do you think the title winner is likely to come from the top teams in the East?
I do. I do think like Boston or Milwaukee are probably my favourites to come out. You could probably throw Philly in there as well because the West is such a morass of very good teams.
Yes.
They call it the Wiggy Wiggy Wild Wild West for a reason, Dicko. But this is it. Like, it is so tricky to come out of the West. I think those teams will beat up on each other. And then the top of the East, you got two massively awesome quality teams in Boston, Milwaukee. And I'd probably take them head-to-head against anyone in the West. And Philly as well. If they fought through that Eastern Conference, I think they'd stand a pretty good chance to win it all.
All right, who do you think will be the top 4 in the East? And once again, I want you Smokey.
Top 4 in the East. It is pretty easy. It's pretty simple. You can just go down the standings, and I think that's almost the top 4 because you can go Boston. They're an absolute dominating team. 3rd best offense in the entire league. 4th best defense. Now, you might recall earlier in the season, Dicko, we talked about Boston and their defense. They had an incredible offense. The defense was a little bit more dubious, let's say. They bring back the Time Lord, Robert Williams, the big boy. He's awesome. You love Robert Williams. They've got Al Horford. They're terrifying, though, on defense now because they just have defenders at every single position that can like limit anything you want to do. They'll just go, no, we're going to stop you from doing that. Awesome on the perimeter, awesome inside now. They're terrifying. Boston are incredible. Milwaukee, same sort of vibe. And they're only getting healthier and better. They've got the 2nd best defense. There's a theme here, Dicko.
There is a theme.
They're all really good defensive teams. But Milwaukee are incredible. They've got the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. They've got Jrue Holiday, who's been playing out of his skin. Just became an all-star again. Chris Middleton, only going to get healthier. They're awesome. They're terrifying. They're like the monster just lurking in the deep that everyone forgets about. 3rd, Philly. Obviously, they've got Joel Embiid. They've got James Harden. They're just really, really good defensively as well. Again, there's that theme because they're 6th best in offense and defense. If you're top 6 in both, you're a contender. It's simple as that. They're awesome. Embiid's dominating. And 4th, it's Cleveland. I love the Cavs. They are the best defense. Literally, we're just like rattling off the best defenses.
Just these, all
I love
round.
it. But you've got multiple bigs. You've got the thin towers. I love the thin towers. You've got Jarrett Go-the-Throw Allen and Evan Mobley. But then you've got the point guards. You've got Darius Rucker, Judy Garland. I love Darius Garland. But also Donnie Mitchell. They've got closers. They've got defensive dudes. They're awesome. I really like Cleveland. They might be a little bit inexperienced, though. That might be their problem. But I still think they finish in the top 4. The Bolter.
Yes.
Always got to keep an eye out for. The terrifying, annoying Miami Heat.
Oh, gee whiz.
They're just going to come out of nowhere. They're going to start they'll beat somebody in the first round. You're like, where did they come from? It's like, well, they've just cranked up the defense. They brought in Kevin Love. He's more cooked than one of my old man Snags. Simple as that. But defensively, they're still 5th best in the league. What's been this theme? Defense. Simple as that. So they're lurking like Dicko outside of Marquette at a spring racing carnival, and away we go. So there's your top 4 and the Bolter. I kind of like it. They're probably my 5 best in the East.
All right, there's no doubt it's going to be very interesting to see how both the West and the East finish up. But now, let's warm up for the weekend. The big call is next.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.
It's time for the big call, so let's jump straight into it. We'll start with Saturday's clash between the Thunder and the Suns. Now, James, Kevin Durant's availability is a big talking point, but do you think the Suns can get it done without him anyway?
I love this. This is actually KD's old team, don't forget. But that was a couple of teams before now. But OKC has the best offense in the league since Jan 1, Dicko. I love OKC. The mopped-up Mamba, Josh Giddey, how can you not? But this is the battle of SGA versus Booker. Shai Redder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Devin Booker, 2 of the best 2 guards in the entire league. I think OKC might have a bit of a close upset brewing vibe to them. They're 18 and 10, the best team in the league, I think, on the road at covering the spread. I think the Suns might have enough to win this overall. So I think there's a multi there where we can build it out of the 2 guards. So Booker going for 30 plus, SGA going for 30 plus. The Suns win, but I wouldn't be surprised if OKC cover that one.
All right, 230 pluses, there you have it. So, James, if we get to see Russell Westbrook in Clippers colours against the Kings, Do you think he helps them get them over the line?
Maybe. I mean, this is the best part about Russell Westbrook.
Anything can happen.
The answer's never clear. Like, he's going up against De'Aaron Fox here. This could be awesome. The Clippers, I mean, I just talked about OKC having the best offense since Gen 1. They got the second best. The Kings are awesome. I love the Kings. You've got the big Souvlaki King, Domantas Sabonis. You've got King Daly helping him out off the bench. You love this. But the Clippers always beat the Kings. Essentially, that's how they go. I wouldn't mind seeing the Kings actually covering this game as well, as the Clippers struggle to get acclimated to each other. They bring in Rusty. You've got Paul George, you've got Kawhi. You never know who's going to play out of the two of them. But the Kings, that offense might just hit a bit of a brick wall late against this Clippers team. I want to see the Souvlaki King, Domantas Sabonis, go off. 18 plus points, 12 plus rebounds. You can probably throw some assists in there if you want to go 8 or so. And if you kind of like that and think that the Clippers are going to struggle, I don't mind the Kings to win it. I kind of think the Clippers might be a bit too tough, though.
All right, Sunday hoops now. And who do you have winning the Nuggets and the Grizzlies match?
This is awesome. Let's go. This is a couple of top 3 West teams. Nuggets are the best team in the West. We know that. Top 5 offense, top 8 defense since the start of the year. The Grizzlies at home are awesome. But the Nuggets are 4-1 in their last 5 on the road. The big Joker just going out there dominating. And if the Grizzlies don't have the big Kiwi, big old Steven Adams, bro. I love him. He's awesome. He's terrifying. But if he's not there, there's no chance that this Grizzlies team can slow down the Nuggets. I love Denver. Grizzlies are just a little bit messy as well at the moment. Last 15, they've gone 6-9. Not nice. Joker, 20 plus points, 12 plus rebounds, 10 plus assists. We're going to triple-double. Let's go, Joker. Give me 25 plus points for Ja Morant as well, but Denver win.
All right, let's finish with the Celtics and the 76ers. Now, who wins? And I want a multi for this game.
This one is tricky as well. You've thrown 4 curly ones at me. I love it. What a battle, though. The Celtics have won the last 3. Sixers were 5-1 in the last 6 before that against the Celtics, because they've got a giant dude in the middle, Joel Embiid, who can do a little bit of everything. Defensively, he's been great. I actually love, if you want to talk a multi, you can go a Sixers multi here, I think. If you'd like the Sixers to win this, lean on Embiid, lean on Harden. So I want to say Embiid with 35 plus points, 15 plus rebounds. Huge numbers. Harden, 20 plus points, 10 plus assists. Sixers win, but that's only if you think the Sixers like that. They're 26-9 since December 1st. They've been the best team basically rolling since then. I do think the Celtics win this one, though. That's just a bit of a feeling. So the Celtics, if they're favoured, I'd lean on them. But if you like the Sixers, build out a multi, go hard on Embiid, go hard on Harden.
Well, you have been very good with your tipping across the weeks. And I keep saying hot as a pistol. Got to come up with a new saying, because if you follow James, he's been going very well. That was the big call. And James will keep an eye once again on your multis. Thanks very much.
Cheers, Dicko.
All right, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe below and follow us on socials.